It won't come as a surprise to say that Italian food has a special place in most people's hearts, or should we say most people's guts? Have you ever met anyone who doesn't like Italian cuisine or doesn't want to travel to Italy just to try an authentic cheesy pizza or gourmet risotto? Or is your tummy rumbling yet? We apologize in advance for making you crave some of Italy's best dishes after having watched this video. But we guarantee wherever you are in the world, you will be able to recreate these meals as they are that popular and that loved globally. So we love Italian food a lot. Okay, but do we know anything about these foods? Apart from how delicious they are, of course, like their origins and history, well, this is exactly what we will be discussing in this video. So, make sure to stick around to learn more about the top 6 famous Italian foods, which are pizza, endless types of pasta, layered lasagne, creamy risotto, fresh mozzarella, and of course, Italian cuisine is not complete without dessert, so gelato. Pizza. Did you know that pizza is not only on the list of top 6 famous Italian foods, but also the top famous foods in the whole wide world? Why wouldn't it be? It's perfect. The options are endless, starting from choices of thick or thin crust to meat and vegetable toppings. You have the opportunity to enjoy a cheesy dish that is one of the most iconic foods of Italy. Just imagine a thin crispy crust with aromatic tomato sauce, mozzarella, and some basil. Yes, 3 ingredients are enough to create this mouth-watering meal and enjoy it for lunch, dinner, or some might even relish a slice or 2 in the morning. We are sure you've wondered at least once who was the genius behind it all. Going back to ancient history, eating flatbreads with diverse toppings was not an uncommon thing. In fact, Greeks, Romans, and Egyptians enjoyed these flatbreads quite regularly, and even Neapolitans, as they needed an affordable dish to feed themselves. It is known that pizza was in fact food for the poor and was looked down on by upper classes. Well, who's laughing now? These flatbreads were called focaccia. But when did it become pizza? Well, the name pizza is thought to have first appeared in the 10th century in an Italian town located in the south called Lazio. Thus was the first ever pizzeria opened in 1738, named Antica Pizzeria Portalba, that served classic oven-baked pizzas. Nowadays, there are multiple types of pizzas to choose from, but in Italy, there are 2 main kinds, Roman and Neapolitan. They're both equally delicious but differ by the recipe used for the dough, making Roman pizza's crust thinner and crunchier as they use olive oil, and Neapolitan being thicker and fluffier. Let us know which one you prefer down below, and while you think of your answer, let's move on to our next famous Italian dish, pasta. Pasta. Are we surprised? No. Pasta is as versatile as pizza, or maybe even more versatile, ranging from pasta bowls with tomato-based sauces to green and red pesto dishes with or without meat and vegetables, parmesan or fresh herbs, baked or boiled, al dente or soft-boiled. There is no painter in the world that is not home to pasta. But when you think of pasta, what shape comes to mind? It might be penne, which is named after pen in Latin, or spaghetti, as these 2 are the most famous shapes and most commonly served in restaurants not only around Italy but everywhere else in the world. However, there is an endless list of Italian pasta that differ by shape, taste, and sometimes even color, such as tagliatelle, which is very similar to spaghetti, however flatter and wider. It means to cut in Italian and can be served with bolognese sauce or creamy mushroom sauce. You must have also come across farfalle, which is Italian for butterfly, as the macaroni are clearly shaped like them. Sometimes farfalle comes in different flavors like tomato, beetroot, or red chili, which makes the butterflies red, or spinach for green-colored farfalles. Gnocchi is also a very famous type of pasta. They are adorable little dumplings that are perfect for cheese bakes or even serving as dessert with some aromatic cinnamon. Most Italian pastas are made using durum with semolina, egg, and water. However, before it became a famous Italian food, it first originated in Asia. Legend has it that Marco Polo was the one who introduced noodles to Italy in the 13th century. There have been many discussions and feuds about the topic of pasta's origins, but we're here to say noodles were first. What do you think? Lasagne. While you think on that, let's move on to lasagne, which can also be considered pasta, a simple combination of thin pasta sheets, tomato and bechamel sauce, cheese and minced beef creates an unbelievably flavorful meal after being oven-baked. There are different types of lasagna sheets you can choose from. Some are completely flat and smooth, some are entirely rigged, and some have ruffled edges. All this adds to the texture of the dish and how well the sheets absorb the sauces. The word lasagna is thought to be named after a Greek word laganon, which is a type of pasta that is very similar to tagliatelle. Lasagne originated in Naples back in the 1500s. Since when the recipe has evolved, there have been records of adding Italian sausages, eggs, and meatballs to lasagna as well. However, if you're vegetarian, you can also prepare it using aubergine or even feta and spinach. But don't let the Italians know. I don't know if they will take it well. This creamy and cheesy Italian meal is something you without a doubt have to try when visiting Italy. Picture yourself at an outdoor seating area in an authentic Italian restaurant, a glass of red wine in your hand, no care in the world other than being able to fully enjoy your lasagna. Sounds like heaven, doesn't it? Risotto. So far, we have covered 3 very doughy and carby dishes. Now, let's take a look at this incredible rice-based meal which is known as risotto. In comparison to pizza and pasta, risotto is a dish you have to get right, as it is not as simple to prepare. The creamy and soft consistency is something you can learn to achieve each time you make risotto at home, or why not take a trip to Italy instead and try authentic risotto for yourself. The creation of risotto dates back to the year of 1809, when it was prepared with saffron, a common spice, and was served at a wedding celebration. Some think that risotto was created by an Italian cook to the king named Giovanni Vialardi, but the clear answer to the question of who was the first originator of this incredible meal unfortunately remains unknown. As mentioned before, this is a rice dish mainly using rice from northern parts of Italy and is cooked using a type of broth, either meat, fish, or vegetable flavored. While cooking, you can also add some diced onion, butter, wine, and of course, parmesan for the perfect cheesy consistency. You can also try a risotto with mushrooms, spinach, asparagus, fish, or any other ingredient you would like to experiment with. In Milan, it is common to serve beef risotto. In Piedmont, you will find risotto with beans, sausages, and red wine. And in Mantua, you can taste a risotto with just pork sausage and parmesan. Mozzarella. We're slowly reaching the end of our list, but there are still 2 very important components of Italian cuisine left to discuss. The following may not be a dish when served by itself, but it sure is an ingredient that makes all the meals we covered so far spectacular. Any guesses? You're right! It's mozzarella. Even saying it will make your mouth salivate. Mozzarella is of course a very famous type of cheese which comes in small or large, soft, moist, and juicy balls. It is home to the south of Italy, as is traditionally prepared using buffalo milk. However, mozzarella can sometimes also be made using cow's milk to lower the cost of production, and rarely from sheep and goat milk as well. Mozzarella is unbelievably tasty when served raw in salads, but it also melts perfectly on pizzas and pasta dishes. The texture and taste of this cheese definitely makes it stand out from the many other rich and delicious Italian cheeses. Some think that the creation of mozzarella was not intentional. In fact, it was a mistake. Legend has it that it was created in a factory located in Naples, where a cheese curd accidentally ended up in a pot of hot water, thus the creation of mozzarella. Yet nobody knows the facts. How do you prefer your mozzarella? Melted, fresh, or maybe even deep fried? Gelato. And now we have reached our final most famous Italian food on the list, which is gelato. Of course, Italy is famous for its pasta and pizza, but what about dessert? Whichever city you choose to visit in Italy is guaranteed to have a gelato shop or cafe that serves endless types of this frozen dessert. The flavors range from simple vanilla and chocolate to hazelnut, tiramisu, coffee, pistachio, mint, citrus fruits, berries, and so on and on. It can be served in sweet crunchy wafer cones, or if you prefer to appreciate the taste of gelato even more, you can have your scoops served in a cup. This ice cream-like dessert is purely Italian and is prepared using mainly whole cow milk and sugar. However, it is still relatively lower in fats and is less heavy than ice cream, as it is prepared without utilizing eggs, which is one of the main differences between the two. Compared to other Italian dishes, the creator of gelato is known, and it was a man called Francesco Procopio dei Coltelli, an Italian chef who owned a cafe in Paris, where he started selling authentic gelato in the 17th century. As you can guess, Café Procope was a success not only in France, but in the whole of Europe very soon. Therefore, it is one of the most famous Italian desserts today. Are you hungry yet? If so, let us know what you will be preparing first, or which one of these dishes sound like the perfect match for your taste. Will it be oven-baked pizza with fresh sauce and mozzarella? Maybe a baked pasta dish or creamy risotto? Whatever you choose, be sure to follow it with a scoop of gelato, or 2, or 3. You make the rules. If you enjoyed finding out about the top 6 famous Italian foods, then be sure to take a look at our other videos that will act as a perfect guides to your Italian holidays. Now go and put your apron on and get to cooking up an authentic Italian meal for yourself or to share with loved ones. Or instead, book a flight to any Italian city and try everything on our list. Buon appetito! Thank you for watching. See you next time.